Chris!
Jaden! Jaden, hurry, my friend!
I can't swim very well. I'm not good with water.
Take my hand, brother!
It's so far.
Take it!
You're not...
You can do this!
You're not helping!
Courage, brother!
Shut up!
Oh, let's go now! Shut up!
I can't do this, Chris. I'm gonna die. I'm too late to die.
This is our life now! This is our life now!
They're coming.
Why'd you touch my hand? Why'd you touch my hand?
I gotta go.
Stop!
With your hand on your head, with well on the ground.
Hey man,
Hey.
what you been up to?
Oh, just been editing this end of year video.
Oh man, you know what? They never put me in that.
Really?
You could work some magic.
I think I can do something.
Oh, good stuff, man. Thanks.
No worries.
Even if it's like sketch, something like that,
Yeah.
or just
I think we got something at the 180.
Yeah, can I please have police? Yeah, it's really serious. Yeah, I got a couple of handshakers. No gloves, no masks. Haven't seen any hand sanitizer. 480 Marshall? Yeah, that church. And I'm pretty sure one of them just sneezed. Great. Thanks. We'll see you soon. Yeah, no worries. I'll hold him down for you.
run.
A lot of rappers overrated. Homie, that's an understatement. I grew up on that. Tigger in the basement. You could say I made a millionaire and he gon' Kane and Undertaker.
Beginning of the year 2020 was going very well, actually. We had just finished our Perth Bible Conference. We had a great time. We were able to plant a new missionary into Bali. We were able to plant a domestic work into Armidale. And by the end of March, the lockdowns hit, and all of a sudden we were having to transition to live stream. Well, we had to let go of the larger productions. We weren't able to do Anzac Day, which was a disappointment. We had to cancel the Easter March. And of course, the 180 concerts were not possible. But what we kept going was the Saturday outreaches, and the one-on-one witnessing went very well for us. To keep our momentum going, it was very important for us to get the live stream up and running. We updated the website. Special thanks to the video team, the sound and lighting team. And we just kept our evangelism going, and we kept our one-on-one witnessing. We had the means for people on the live stream to get saved, respond to an altar call, give us the details, and then Brad organized a Thursday night fellowship and would contact all the people that got saved and would organize just a time of getting together, which was an overwhelming success. People really got tired of the lockdown, and as things began to ease and small groups were allowed, the Thursday night fellowship became a raging success, so much so that it continues to this day. We still have lots of converts and lots of people following up, getting together. And so I think that that helped us in that we didn't become lax, and we just decided we were going to keep this on a cutting edge level. Everybody else that's listening, that you have a need of healing in your body, I want you to stand to your feet if you can. If you can't, then you pray right there where you are. I want you to put your hand somewhere that represents the area of need of your healing. And I want you to pray this prayer after me. I want you to say, Father God, in the name of Jesus, I put my faith in the blood of Jesus Christ that was shed for me.
In April, I, for whatever reason, I don't know how and I don't know why, I hurt my shoulder. And it was getting worse. Every week the pain was getting worse to the point towards the end, it was every day it was getting worse. So I would wake up with this shooting pain running down my shoulder at night. I'd have to get up and take something It was excruciating. In the morning, I couldn't lift it above a 45-degree angle, which was hard to, get ready, to like pick up my toddler, to do anything basically. And I hadn't gone to the doctor yet because I was hopeful that it would fix itself. And as well, I was really believing that God was going to do a miracle. So it's getting worse and worse. And I'm thinking, okay, I really need God to help me here. And then it was soon after that it was during live stream, and I'm sitting at home, and Pastor Payne's preaching. It's a Wednesday night, and he's talking about God's power. And at the end, he says, if you're at home and you're sick, place your hand on where it hurts and repeat this prayer after me. So I thought, cool, I'll just do it. Put my hand on my shoulder. I prayed and repeated Pastor Payne's words, asked Jesus to heal me. And I was really hopeful, and I moved my arm and I still felt pain. And I thought, no, I'm just going to claim it as a Christian. This is our portion. I'm just going to believe that God has healed me tonight. And sure enough, over the next couple of days, every day it just got better and better, to the point where within a few days it was 100% healed. Something that was really debilitating, getting worse every single day. I couldn't believe it. God did such a miracle in my shoulder, and I knew that it was from that night during live stream, just sitting at home and praying. And yeah, that was a real highlight of 2020, was God doing a real miracle in my shoulder. And to this day, however many months later, I'm still 100% healed and there's absolutely no pain. So I just want to give God all the glory for that.
The highlight of my year was being able to get back up on stage at the 180 and to be used by God through my rapping and being able to share the gospel.
It was just great to see that during the COVID period, God was able to still move and bring souls in, and the church adapted through it. And then we still was able to win souls, and now we're back together again, which I'm so grateful of.
The highlight of my year was, like everyone, not getting coronavirus in WA. I'm so sorry. It's cat allergies. Got a new cat.
I think you need to leave.
Highlight of my year was definitely coming back to church after quarantine was over. It was being able to be in person and seeing Pastor Payne face to face and hearing his preaching. It was being able to worship alongside other people, going back to all my ministries that I missed out on for those few months, and being able to go back to Sunday school, teach the girls again.
So the highlight for me this year, I think, has been having the opportunity to visit and to be able to preach in two of our pioneer churches over in Brisbane. So I got to visit the church in Springfield, which is pastored by Pastor Ruben and Danielle Riccardi, and then also the Redcliffe congregation, pastored by Jerome and Jess Brown. And just being there, being with them, those churches are just going off. They're new churches, but they have got their own buildings, they've got people there, there's the life of God there, they're vibrant, power of God there, and great things are happening there. And if you're watching this and you're a pastor and you want to get me for a revival, you can find me on my website, www.pocketrocket.com.yahoo.
So you're not going to see my face, right?
No, right.
The highlight of the year for me was eating Nutri-Grain during Vital Hour.
The highlight of my year was probably watching Jordan eat Nutri-Grain during Bible Hour.
Hi, my name's Holly, I'm 20 years old, and I wasn't brought up in a Christian family, but I went to a Christian school, so I knew about God, but I didn't know God personally. And my whole life was pretty much went downhill because I didn't have a relationship with God, and I had a lot of mental health problems. I had borderline personality disorder, which affected not only myself but other people as well. And I was very suicidal. I had a lot of suicidal attempts, and I was just trying to fulfill myself with something because I was so empty. And I would find that with having a boyfriend, with drugs, drinking, going out, clubbing, and I was just trying to fulfill this emptiness inside. I could never do it. And the week before I got saved was probably a really bad week for me. I was living at someone's house and I was just screaming, yelling, like breaking their stuff. And I remember going to the train station and walking up and down, just being like, what's my life? What am I doing? Like, do I really want to die right now? Like, is this it? Is this all that life is? And I was just really conflicted. I was really upset. And I just couldn't control the way I was. I was manipulative, I was controlling, and I was obsessed with social media. I had thousands of followers and I thought that fulfilled me. I had so much pride, thought I was better than everyone else, but then behind closed doors would be really upset and very suicidal. I wanted to die. I really wanted to die, and I was like, no, this is it. This is not gonna be like a fluke attempt. I'm doing it this time. Someone really close to me was sending me messages telling me you need to get right with God, you need to come to Christ, and he invited me to a concert, and I was like, oh yeah, concert's chill, I'll just go to that. And I was either going to do that, or I knew a guy up the road that had a bottle of Xanax, and I was going to tick them off and I was going to take them and I was going to end my life. But then I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I'll go to this concert and see what it's all about. Not really thinking much of it. I walked in on my own and just sat in the back on my phone thinking nothing was going to happen. And they did an altar call at the end and not even thinking what it meant. So I just put my hand up and then I went to the front and I repented on my sin. It felt like in just one night that God changed me. The way I thought was completely changed. The way I wanted to dress, as soon as I got home, I deleted my social media with thousands of followers and just got rid of it, and I had such a hold onto that. The suicidal thoughts was gone. I was like, no, I'm gonna go to church tomorrow. I was like, I'm not gonna end my life. Like, God's real, and he really changed me. Like, I had blonde hair with hair extensions. I got rid of that with eyelashes, nails, everything, because I was just trying to cover myself. I was so insecure and I didn't realize it until Christ showed me, and I just wanted to be myself in Christ, and Jesus has changed my life. I've gotten a job, I've gotten amazing friends. I had backstabbing friends and now I've got real friends who really care about me. My counselor of 4 years told me that I didn't need to go anymore. I didn't qualify for having borderline personality disorder. God completely healed me and my whole life has just completely changed. I would not be here if it wasn't for Jesus Christ.
The challenge of the lockdowns was how are we going to continue to do what we do, which is evangelize. And so we couldn't do 180. We still wanted to reach souls, and so we decided that we would get some gloves and we would just continue to press on in the way that we knew how to evangelize, which is one-on-one witnessing. We went out into the public and told people about Jesus, and I think because of the COVID situation, most of the public were open towards the gospel with the crisis at hand and the challenges, jobs being lost, and the struggles of what COVID presented. People were genuinely open and willing to hear the gospel. So we had to maintain momentum throughout these COVID lockdowns, and we decided not only to do the weekend midday outreaches, but we started the live stream concerts, the quarantine concerts. They were effective. We had a couple of bands play and live streamed it to the internet, and we saw some fruit from that. Not only that, we implemented a Thursday night fellowship, and that has been very fruitful. We've only just finished that up because we're going into our park outreach season, but we've seen many people come to Christ through the Thursday night fellowship, and that was birthed through the COVID. So after the lockdowns finished, we were able to get back into the 180, and here we are. The 180 is the building where we do our regular concerts on the weekend. It's an effective way to reach the community with the clear gospel message in a creative way. So we have many bands that play, rappers, rock and roll bands, and they deliver the gospel to people in our community that otherwise wouldn't attend a church service. It's been very fruitful. It's been very creative means of ministering the gospel, and yeah, it's just been exciting to be involved in the 180. We've seen new bands formed in the 180 scene. They're writing their own music and their own lyrics, and it's been really encouraging, just refreshing to see these guys get up, form the band, perform and deliver the goods. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, what God's going to do in the 180 in the future. Straight Out of KGB is a concept that was birthed from an idea that I actually had. I came to a Monday morning staff breakfast and we were looking to do a special in the 180, and I had a few ideas that I brought to the table, and then both Pastor Plummer and Pastor Payne you know, suggested a few other components and elements, and so birthed KGB. KGB stands for Kundula, Girraween and Balga. These are suburbs in our local community. They're known and for rife gang rivalries. And so we've got some guys, some Sudanese boys that have been saved for a number of years now, and we encouraged them to be involved, and they agreed. And they were actually raised in some of these suburbs and been in and out of jail. We told their stories through the KGB series about how they'd struggled since coming to Australia with drug and crime related issues, been in and out of jail, and then found Christ and had their lives restored. And so that was a great way to bring the gospel message and the transformation that can take place in an individual's life who surrenders their will to God.
After we finished performing on stage, after the altar call, the altar was just packed with people, you know? A lot of people just answered the altar call, and it just gave me goosebumps. It was really awesome, yeah.
Yeah, the highlight of my year was being asked by Pastor Payne through the KGB. It wasn't easy, but I stepped out of my shell, and yeah, I just did it and just gave God all the glory. It wasn't that bad.
So as a result of the KGB drama, we not only saw amazing and tremendous fruit from these productions, but we saw these converts, these guys that had not been previously involved in ministry, stage ministry, and they committed, and they gave their all. They got a taste for ministry, and they just ripped it up. It was good to see these disciples, these converts becoming disciples and growing in the things of God, committing to ministry, and you know, being willing to participate and be involved. It's just a great scene in our 180 to see these guys step up to the plate and deliver.
My life has been nothing but brokenness and destruction. From an early age, exposed to the sins of this world, violence, anger, abandonment, child abuse, which I was abused, which set me on a path of destruction and of hurt and shame. Started to look for acceptance and belonging, and an identity of who I was, with fitting in where I felt safe and liked and had a purpose. I early became addicted to marijuana, drinking, LSD, ecstasy, and became heavily addicted to heroin and amphetamines. That lifestyle, drugs, crime, accepted just the belief that your two options in life where you're going to be dead or in jail. I remember times haunted by times of seeing friends that had passed away and OD'd, having 303 rifles pointed at my head and trigger pulled just for a laugh. But that was just the normal. Once I got out and tried to get my life back on track, it went out of control pretty quick, because that was just your normal, and you fit back into what's your normal. There was always a void, there was always an emptiness, no matter how many friends you would make, how many friends you would lose, how many relationships you would get into, how many drugs you would do. Nothing would take it away. No amount of counselling, no matter counselling sessions, psychiatric medications, diagnosis of everything from bipolar to post-traumatic stress to schizophrenia to ADHD. None of it worked. And that led basically to a point of when you'd lost it all, the destruction had taken out all your friends, all your family and beautiful children. Left you sitting in darkness, isolated in an empty house with a head full of demons and an addiction that was going to send you to hell. Taken to a psychiatric unit, screaming for the police to shoot you because you wanted it to end. Going into the psychiatric unit, trying to get help, trying to get your mind right, trying to get your life right and find a purpose, a reason to keep going. Ended up screaming to God to make himself real, because if he didn't, I'm done. So I screamed to God and he answered, and ended up in a car accident which should have been fatal, and walked away without a scratch. The Lord made himself very real to me at that moment. That was it. I came to church, I walked in, I surrendered, got to the altar, gave my heart to Christ, and started living for God. In that time, after 42 years of destruction which derailed me, the Lord picked me back up and gave me life. When I screamed for death, he gave me life. And in that time has freed me from addiction, has freed me from psychiatric troubles, has freed me from cigarettes, has freed me from the shame, guilt, torment of a broken, sinful life. And has blessed me with a wonderful church, a wonderful community, friendships, a wonderful family. Every day I wake up now is a blessing. Every day is a joy and peace and freedom that Jesus says he is the way, the truth and the life, and he will set you free. He will break those chains.
Highlight of my year was the privilege of being able to invite my friends to the concert and being able to present the gospel to them.
Okay, so the highlight of my year was being able to see God supernaturally deliver Ben Peters. A couple of the brothers went to his house and we prayed for him, and to see God just move in such a miraculous way and bring a complete deliverance to this man who had been oppressed for most of his life, and here he is over 40 years old, and to see Jesus Christ supernaturally deliver him was just such an awesome and amazing thing.
Highlight of my year, just the church, being supportive, being there the last 12 months, been through, but yeah, the support of the church, that's my highlight, you know.
My highlight of the year is during COVID and in live stream, my son Liam coming back and recommitting his life to Jesus.
The highlight of my year was seeing lockdown measures relaxed on the date of our wedding and being able to have a full house Jesus People wedding when me and the camera guy got married.
So Pastor Zapata did an Evangelist Wednesday, and he, at the end of it, he was calling for people who had skin conditions. And I had a really, really irritating skin condition for over a week, like intense itch and hives, pretty much all over my body, but mostly around my rib cage and on my arms. And so itchy, I'd scratch till the skin bled on my arms. Went step forwards when he asked for people who had skin conditions to step forwards, and I didn't realise it until I got in the car to go home that I didn't feel itchy. And I got home and I kind of checked my body and I had not a sign of a rash anywhere. It was absolutely amazing. And the scars that I'd created from scratching my arms so much had gone. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. It was just like awesome.
"2021 looks like for the church a time of great harvest. It seems like people are open in a new way. They seem to be aware, somehow even without biblical knowledge, that we're in the last days and things are being shaken in the political realm and in the spiritual realm. It's amazing to me that it seems like everybody's aware now that the media has an agenda. Seems like both political parties are going the way of Antichrist and globalism. And there just seems to be an openness to the supernatural and to the gospel. It looks to me like Jesus Christ could come back at any time. And we're ready for that, and we've lived for that our whole Christian lives, and we're looking forward to a great 2021.
Saturday was silent, surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? Friday's disappointment, the Sunday's empty too. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out, I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones